In today's episode, we are going on the journey of love and what that looks like and feels like and can be with self, with God, source divine, and with each other. And so often as humans, we like to outsource things. Worth, value, lovable factor in the outside world, getting validation from the outside world or other human beings when love truly does start with yourself. So raise your hand. Raise your hand if you, at any point in your life, have gone looking for love in all the wrong places. Okay, I'm going to put both my hands up. Raise your hand if at any point in time you have outsourced your value and worth in another person, seeking love or seeking to be found worthy and valuable and lovable through another person when you have not loved yourself. I'm going to raise both my hands again. Ain't no shame in my game. And so often that can happen where you might not feel lovable, you might not feel worthy, and look to find that in another human. And so often that people pleasing, oh my goodness, bending over backwards, doing, giving, being everything for everyone else, maybe not yourself, because just then, maybe then, someone will see your worth, someone will see your value. Maybe just then you'll be lovable. And spoiler alert, you're lovable already. You're lovable, period. You don't have to do anything to be lovable. You don't have to bend over backwards to be worthy of love. This has come up a lot over the years working with clients where, there's those feelings of rejection or like they're not being received in the way that they want to, and they keep showing up and loving in all of the ways, and they haven't been received. And I always use this analogy of you're faced with someone and envision their arms crossed. So their arms are crossed in front of them and they're not open to receive. It's like maybe their arms are bound by past experiences like this, binding them, past experiences, fears. They don't feel lovable or worthy of receiving. So you're trying to approach them of, here's love. Here's all the love that I am. Let me give you this love. It just like either repels them or they're not able to receive it. So sometimes it's got nothing to do with you. A lot of the time, we could just say a lot of the time, it has nothing to do with you, but it could be internalized. And any journey of love, it is going to start with you, how you see yourself, how you respect yourself, how you love yourself, because the depths that you can go with yourself to love yourself create the depths in which you can love others. And sometimes as humans, again, you can distract yourself and pour into someone else and give them all the love, but what about you? Right? What are you giving yourself in terms of love? Are you seeing yourself as valuable, as worthy? This is not egoic either. This is finding that sense of peace and comfort and cherishing yourself. And I will have to share, I don't, and this is my personal belief, okay? So I don't necessarily believe that we have the full capacity to love ourselves or others without having a connection to a higher power, God, source divine, and receiving that love, experiencing that love. I'm not going to say it can't happen, but as humans, I don't know if we can fully fathom the depths that love can go without that connection. And me, maybe 2 years ago, I would not be saying that or feeling that. Maybe 2.5 years ago, I wouldn't have been saying that. But through having more of a connection and a relationship and opening up to God, source divine, like that divine love, there really are no words for it. That expression, unconditional love, until you experience that unconditional love. And look at our world. Everything is conditional. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll love you if, I'll love you when. Like there's so many conditions that society can put upon you. There's so many conditions that you can put upon you. There's so many conditions that other people can put upon you associated with love. There can be these stigmas that love has to come at a cost. Love can't come freely. It's got to come at a cost. These are beliefs that you could be carrying. And until you fully experience that unconditional love in that purest form, you don't know the depths that love can go. And once again, this is my personal belief and experience. And it feels like such a sad thing to reflect upon, that there are many of us on this planet that have never had that unconditional love. And where love has had to come at a cost, where you've had to prove that you're lovable, that you've had to work to earn love, to receive love, to even be able to give love. And it is a sad thing to reflect upon, because when you open yourself up to divine love, and can I just say, I did not think this was where we were going to go for this episode, and here we are. However, when you open yourself up to that divine love, nothing compares to it. Absolutely nothing compares to it. Nothing on the world, nothing in the world, nothing of the world. Worldly love cannot compare to that love of God, source divine. Nothing can compare to it. And so often it's almost like, are we all walking in the world seeking that love, looking for that kind of love, like that unconditional love, where you are held, where you're received as you are, where you don't need to fix anything, you don't need to change anything. You might change things in your life because of that love. You might be transformed because of that love, but you're received as you are. Like, how many of you can say openly that, yeah, like all of your relationships, you're just received as you are, as is? And in some cases that might be true, and you might, but maybe not all across the board. And you might even be walking in this world as well, really wanting to offer that love, that unconditional love to others. We've got stories as humans. You've lived a life, you've had experiences, you've had pain, you've had heartache, you've had trauma, you've had ecstatic bliss, you've had, all of the things in between. But, well, and some of you maybe haven't had ecstatic bliss, right? That's even something to think about. Maybe there hasn't been that for some of you. And you might want to offer that unconditional love. You might be in your purest intentions wanting to do that, but human, coming through filter stories, experiences, trauma, you might be giving that love, but at the capacity in which you can, or even that the levels of the unconditional love that you can, that might not always fully be unconditional. Because I even know for myself, I want to love unconditionally. And it's my intention to love unconditionally, especially in my more intimate relationships. But I know there are most likely times where I'm not. Even if my purest intention is to love fully and unconditionally. And I do acknowledge, yeah, the fact of being a human, to get caught up in feelings, to get caught up in, different scenarios that go on. But I truly believe in the deepest part of my heart that we as humans can't know the depths that love can go until we receive that unconditional love. And the purest form of the unconditional love that I've ever had in my life has been through God, source divine. Point blank, period. There's like the earthly love, you can have these soul bonds and soul connections and depth and feel that love. But I'm going to say it again. I have had nothing compared to that unconditional love of God, source divine. And still even having that experience, receiving that love, being loved in that way, I cannot match that. I strive for it. I have the intentions for it, but I know 24/7 I cannot match that. But what a gift. What a gift it is to receive it. I remember crying uncontrollably. I could not stop crying at the immensity and the intensity of that love. Like there aren't words for it. Like you gotta feel it to believe it, to receive it. And I was brought to tears. Any form of love that you are going to be seeking to fulfill you is not going to come from the world. It's not going to come from people. You can get glimmers of it. You can get pieces of it, but it's not going to come from another person. It's not going to come from material possessions. It's not going to come from, a pet, close representation of that love. And you can experience love. This is not to discredit earthly relationships. This is not to discredit our fur friends and animals. It's not to discredit it. However, seeking that love from another human being, needing that to fulfill you, is going to leave you disappointed. Seeking that love from external possessions to fulfill you is going to leave you disappointed. You might have fun, you might enjoy them, but what is that expression? Money can't buy you happiness. Money can buy you things. Money can create enjoyable experiences and you can be happy and for a long time. But I don't know about you. I do hear stories where there's people that, yeah, they might have everything in the world, but something's missing. There's just like that something inside of them where they don't quite know. There's a void they're trying to fill, but they don't quite know what that is. And they've bought this and they've bought that and they've gone here and they've done that. So even, going to God could be viewed as outsourcing love. But at the same time, when you're connecting to that divine love, there's no ulterior motives, right? If you're going to God for love to fill you up, like you're going to the Creator to fill you up, you're remembering that that is the purest form of love. You're remembering that you're connected to that. You're remembering that you're part of that. You're remembering that that love is you. That love is you. And there are no ulterior motives, but sometimes there can be these hidden agreements with other people, friends, family, partners, lovers, where it's like, oh, like you're going to fulfill this in me, and kind of seeking that in another person. But you will, if you're putting all of your fulfillment and all of your happiness in another human being, you will be disappointed. For yourself, how can you fill yourself up first? Relationships, there's going to be learning and healing involved. There was a belief that I had personally that you got to be all healed before you go into a relationship. You got to look at all your stuff. You got to take time, and you need to be fully healed before entering a new relationship. That is a belief that I was holding. And I wasn't fully aware of that. But relationships are the places that we're going to heal the most. Because yeah, you can go be in the cave. You can go be in the cave. You can do all of your shadow work. You can do your meditations. You can do your healing. And once again, be the hermit in the cave. But you're not around people. You're not purposely putting yourself in the line of fire or learning. Relationships are going to be learning, but you're keeping yourself so far removed from that because you got to get healed. You need to fix this. You need to do that. Whatever those stories are, What better place to heal than in relationships? Seriously. Because you're going to have someone that will mirror things to you. You're going to have tests and triggers and amazing experiences that you would never have if you're spending 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the cave healing, avoiding being in relationship because you have to heal. We don't necessarily want to be entering relationships as a form of escapism. So let's say you're shattered into a million pieces and you don't want to do your healing. So you're going into a relationship to avoid the healing and then like pour yourself into another human being. Because that's another belief that I had that like really bothered me, of people moving on quickly into relationships. I'm not going to lie, I judged it. I did. I judged it. Am I judging it now? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily judging it, but I did. I do believe that we have to take space and time to heal. That's important. And then you might have people that are serial daters, where they get in a breakup and they're in a relationship right again because they can't be alone. Get in a breakup, they're in a relationship right away because they can't get alone. And this is not to place judgment or anything of that nature. It's to be curious of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Are you aware that you are going into relationships? You're being a serial dater because you don't want to be alone. Are you being a serial dater because you don't want to look in the mirror and look at your stuff? Are you going into a relationship because you have looked at things, you're willing to do the work, you want to grow together? Did love unexpectedly show up on your doorstep and you're like, WTF, what is even happening? I don't want anything to do with this, but now you're here. Like there's many different scenarios that can play out. Love is going to come knocking in whatever way it's going to come knocking, but it's up to us to also be responsible. It's up to you to be responsible and intentional with what you're doing and why you're doing it. Are you escaping? Are you choosing to repeat old patterns? Or are you choosing something new and something different? And through that journey of love, can you have compassion with yourself? Can you be loving and kind to yourself? So many people out there, and I've been there. Gosh, I've been there. Don't see their worth or their value because of painful experiences in life, because a world has told them they're too much or they're not enough, or they need to be something that they're not. They need to fit in this box or this mold, and that's not them. And then they go around, and this might be you go around in the world thinking you're not lovable, thinking you're too much, thinking you're not enough, thinking there's something wrong with you because of what society has told you, what your family has told you, what has been projected onto you or imprinted onto you, or could even be stored within the cells that have been passed onto you genetically. There's so many factors involved in this. And so much of that journey of love is, yes, self-love, reconnecting to self, remembering self as spirit, remembering that you are a spiritual being. Yeah, we're human right now. We're here being human, but that journey of returning to love is remembering the love that you are, remembering the spirit that you are, remembering the love that you're connected to, remembering the love that is available to you, remembering the love that only wants to love you as you are, where you don't have to do anything, where you don't have to be anything. And Lord knows, if we could be like that in the world, like I have the purest intentions to do that, but your girl's not doing that 24/7 at all. At all. I wish. Wish I could say that. I wish I could say that. Like to strive to just have the purest heart and the purest intentions 24/7. But human being in this flesh, so to speak, gets distortions, has baggage, baggage carried once either in the DNA or all of those polluted thoughts or toxic thoughts or experiences that have happened along the way. The journey of love. You don't need to be fully quote unquote healed, whatever that even means. Like, what does that mean, fully healed? I don't know if there's a finish line to being fully healed, but you don't, whatever that means to you, we're just going to say that you don't have to be fully healed to enter into a relationship with someone, a romantic relationship with someone, or, even like different friendship dynamics, but we'll focus on romantic relationships. You don't need to be quote unquote fully healed, whatever that means to you, to be in a relationship. But at the same time, being devoted and committed to choosing the path of love, path of the heart, path of love within, to remember the love that you are and that spiritual connection and the connection that you have to God, Source Divine, all of creation, helps to facilitate the opening and the capacity and the receptivity to love, to give and to receive. So yeah, you don't have to be fully healed. And sometimes in relationship, because someone is a mirror for you, they see you differently than you might see yourself. I've had this before working with clients where, their partner loves them to the ends of the earth, like just infatuated with them, enamored with them, loves them, but they don't see it. They can't see themselves the way that their partner does. And this can be beyond romantic relationships, even for you. You might have friends that you see and that you love so dearly, or people in your life that you see and you love so dearly, and you're like, why don't you see it? If you could only see yourself like I do. People could be saying that to you. If you could only see yourself the way that I do, because they don't see your flaws. They see everything about you as this divine perfection in different ways. Like your quirks, they love it. Your body, you might not like your body. They love your body, your brain, your mind, like everything about you, they love. And it's like, if you could only see yourself the way that I see you. So you could feel that towards other people could feel that towards you. And then even like going back into the divine love, it's like God is like, if you could only see you the way that I see you, if you could only remember the love that you are, if you could only remember and open up into, it's not even becoming. I was going to say, and the like becoming the embodiment of that love. It's the remembering and the integration of that love. And then, yeah, perhaps it is a becoming, but it's an embodiment of it more than a becoming, because it's already you. So it's an embodiment of that love in the world. And then think of that, like everybody walking in the world being the embodiment of unconditional love. Wow. 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 Just like my heart expands thinking about that. And we have the potential to access that. We truly do. You're not going to find it in the world. You're not going to find it in people, places, things. Like you're not going to find it outside of you. We could even say that outside of you. Because that love, it's like this divine spark within you, within the heart, which then is even that gateway to God and that divine love. So the journey of love all starts with you, boo. It all starts with you. And will you be brave and curious? There's like a bravery and a curiosity to peel back the fears, the hurts, the blames, the games, all of it, just to strip it all away. And who are you without that? Like without all of that baggage, all of those stories, who are you without that? And not through the lens of the human, not through any human form, not looking at it that way, like looking through the eyes of the heart, to see through the eyes of the heart. And the heart is the gateway to God. and that divine love and that truth of who you are, what you are, what you're connected to.